Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Thursday, the 17th of December. And in the news this morning, we have got games cancelled in the Heineken European Champions Cup due to COVID. In the cricket, there's a bunch of cricket kicking off, including New Zealand A versus Pakistan, Australia versus India, and we'll have news about Wisden's Test 11 for 2020. Also, the America's Cup action starts with the World, what's it called, the World Series in Auckland today, and also today Russia will appeal its ban from all major sporting events. Hi, I'm Paul, and you are listening here on New Zealand Sports Radio. This is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. And yes, the Russia has been banned for 4 years by WADA. WADA had reinstated Russia after a 3-year ban in 2018, but then in December 2019 declared that Russia's anti-doping agency was non-compliant with its code and reinstated a 4-year ban that banned Russia from the Tokyo Olympics, Paralympic Games, and also the 2022 World Cup. What basically happened was that WADA's chief executive made a unanimous decision to impose the ban on Russia after the Russia Anti-Doping Agency was declared non-compliant for manipulating laboratory data handed over to investigators in January 2019. So we'll see how that investigation continues to go, or how that appeal, continues to go. Over in the UK, and a number of players and staff at Exeter Chiefs have tested positive for COVID, and that means that their game against Toulouse this weekend has now been cancelled. Glasgow's game against Lyon also has to be cancelled, as well as Glasgow's 20 players from that game have to go into isolation, and along with injuries means that they cannot safely field a side for that one. So 2 games there have been called off. The tournament organisers will now decide what happens with those games. With a congested fixture list, it seems unlikely that they'll be able to reschedule. So cancellations, and then what results will be decided on. We'll have to wait and see. The reigning European champions there, with Exeter Chiefs being involved. So if they have to lose by 5 points, boy, it's going to be make their attempts to defend their title extremely difficult. Over in the cricket, and yes, New Zealand A will be taking on Pakistan A up in Whangarei in a 4-day game that starts today. So if you're up in Whangarei, head off to Cobham Oval to catch some wonderful cricket. Yesterday evening, I was at Shaw Road for Parnell versus Grafton in the Auckland Club cricket competition. If you want to catch my post-match interviews with the head coaches and players, you can watch those over on our Facebook page, New Zealand Sports Radio. A cracking T20 game there. De Villiers, who I had an interview with afterwards, hitting a quick fire score to really get his team back on track after their run chase had stumbled a bit. Also, I have a chat with the Grafton's captain about his young side and how they are going as well. Over in Australia, and the first test match between Australia and India will start today. It's a day-night game happening over in Adelaide, so we'll keep you up to date with how that one progresses. Looking at the Wisden's Test 11, and 3 Black Caps have been named in their Test 11 for 2020. Kane Williamson, Kyle Jamieson, and Tim Southey are all in there. Unsurprisingly, Kane Williamson with that big double century that he scored, getting in there. Kyle Jamieson, the man of the series against The West Indies is also in there as well. So congratulations to those three who are in the who've been named, by the way, by Wisden in the Test 11 for 2020. The entire team was Dom Silby of England, Shan Mazod of Pakistan, Kane Williamson of New Zealand, Barab Azam of Pakistan, Marnus Labuschagne of Australia, Ben Stokes of England, Quinton de Kock of South Africa, Kyle Jamieson of New Zealand, Stuart Broad of England, Tim Southey of New Zealand, and Nathan Leon of Australia. So congratulations to all of them being named in the Test 11. Today we have the America's Cup World Series kicking off with 4 races today. This regatta takes place over the next 4 days in Auckland. The first 3 days, so Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, are the round-robin games before we get to the knockouts on the 20th of December on Sunday. So up today we have Emirates New Zealand versus Luna Rosa Prada, American Magic against Ineos Team New Zealand. Then Ineos Team New Zealand will then Ineos Team UK. Ineos Team UK. Then Ineos Team UK will race Luna Rosa, and America's Magic will race Emirates Team New Zealand. And there will be 4 races over the next 3 days, I say, before that final. So looking forward to seeing the boats finally on the water, and the America's team, the American Magic skipper Terry Hutchinson says, look, time has been the main enemy, and with the 2 other regattas in the World Series having to be cancelled due to COVID, yes, there really has been no race days at all. Here they were expecting to race in Calgary and also Portsmouth before they got to this stage. This was supposed to be the 3rd regatta ahead of, pardon me, the America's Cup itself. So this is the first time the boats will actually be seen on the water in action. We'll see the teams really properly racing each other. There have been some practice races, but who knows what setups and what tactics they were trying in those ones. Over in the NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Milwaukee Bucks star, has signed the biggest deal in NBA history, a $228.2 million deal there over 5 years. That averages out at an annual salary of $45.6 million, which is the biggest deal. He still has $59 million of his previous deal to go, and so I'm not entirely sure how it all has been structured, but yes, a massive deal for Giannis at the Milwaukee Bucks. So the money in NBA, wow, it really does dwarf our sports over here in New Zealand. The NBA will get back into action on the 22nd of December, so it's not far away now for their season to start. You have now started the day the best way, up to speed with all the important sports news. Don't forget, I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. With the morning sports briefing here on New Zealand Sports Radio. And if you would, tonight also actually is the New Zealand Rugby Awards, and if you would like to check out our predictions as to who will be winning what, then become a supporter of New Zealand Sports Radio over at nzsportradio.com. You can find that video and also podcasts where myself, Boa, and Stephen Harris go through all of the categories and letting you know who we think will be winning what. So only costs $1 a month to become a supporter, or as little as $1 a month to become a supporter of New Zealand Sports Radio, or you can obviously give it as much as you feel like. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow at 7 a.m.